Midge, welcome to North East Lincolnshire and
Thank
to
you.
Business Hive Live. I can't tell you how good it is to have you here. Honestly, I know it's...
No, it's great. It's very pleasant to hear. Thank you.
Well, it is good news. Since we announced the fact that you were coming, that you've been all over social media, people have been coming up and asking, well, why Midge? They all remember you, of course, from their youth, perhaps, and other things. But the question was always there. So this is a business event. Why is Midge Ure? What's Midge Ure going to be saying at a business event? So let's hear the answer to that question.
Okay, well, being in a band is a business. You think about it, it's like, any business is built on its component parts. And a band is, it's like, if you break it down, you think, okay, who's the most important part in the band? You think, well, the singer. Well, I would say that. No, not really. The drummer is the most important part, because that's the foundation of your music. That solid foundation is everything you build everything else on. So you have to have that in every business. You have to have your marketing department, and that be your guitarist, because he's always flash. He's always showing off. Then you have to have the brand, and the brand is the name of the band, and usually the singer, because he's the guy doing all the talking all the time, and he's the guy in the magazines. He's the guy doing the interviews, the one that they always want to talk to. So when I realised maybe 10 years ago what we had done with not just music, what I'd done in, with Ultravox and Visage and the stuff that I've done in the past, but what we managed to do with Band Aid and Live Aid, which is a business, we set out to achieve a task, and we had to figure out how we achieve that task, just like any other business. And we realised that what we needed to do was to make a Christmas record, because that's when you could generate most income. If we had a Christmas #1, it would stay in the charts over Christmas and New Year, so you've got a good chance of earning twice as much as you could possibly do. So it was quite a cold, calculated thing that we did. It's a business. You surround yourself by people who know more than you do. You can still steer the ship and still hold onto the rudder, but you want people around you who know how to navigate, and know how to get you, get you moving, and know how to move you on when you've hit the doldrums. All of that stuff. It's all business. It's all about thinking and planning and executing your ideas.
I can see that connection then. It's quite clear. And you talked about brand. I mean, you took that brand of Live Aid to just phenomenal heights with what you did with it. Did you ever think that it would become as big as it was?
Oh, no. I mean, our initial conversation when Bob and I sat down and talked about what we could possibly do, our big ambition using the plan we had was to generate realistically £100,000. That's what we could generate. And it didn't develop until people around us got on board. Once people saw what was happening, the momentum grew and grew and grew. So the record companies didn't take their percentage, which is a pretty large percentage. The retailers didn't take their percentage. So all of a sudden, this pot of money was starting to grow. The guys in the pressing plants who made the records, the retailers, everyone, all across the board decided, well, if they're doing it for free, we'll do it for free. So we got everyone connected. And all of a sudden, it wasn't two guys trying to do this. All of a sudden, it was a nation. And then it was more than a nation. And then all of a sudden, it moved to America, and it bounced all around the world. So Do They Know It's Christmas was the first step. But in Canada, you had Northern Lights. You had the versions in Australia and Japan and, Russia, and everybody got on board. So what we started grew into something that was way above and beyond anything we could have imagined.
It sounds like the perfect business dream, really, doesn't it? Of having an idea that then gets so much attention and so much attraction that it grows beyond what you would ever imagine. I suppose that's what all businesses hope for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we had the added advantage of being, because we were a bunch of hapless musicians, that, we were kind of newsworthy. I mean, getting musicians like that together to try and do something is a tall order. It's a bit like chasing Mercury. There's one over, oh no, back here, come on, all round the microphone, let's try and do this. So it was a tall order to do, but because of what it was we were doing, everybody in the planet just about was privy to what was going on in Ethiopia. We saw it on our televisions all the time. We were all disgusted by it. Anyone with children, felt, big time. Just thinking, what if that were us? So we already had that kind of huge empathy going around. So it was kind of, I'm not saying easy, but it was kind of easier than, you know, anyone else starting a business, trying to do something similar. You know, we had the media kind of on our side for a while.
Yeah, yeah. And I can see that. Nonetheless, its impact was worldwide, and you could see how much work and passion had gone into it, which I suppose, again, is something that every entrepreneur, every business person, whether they're starting something at their kitchen table or trying to start up a large company, has to have.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, when I talk this afternoon, I'll talk about my life, talk about the early years, and talk about the fact that I've got the best job in the world, because I'm absolutely passionate about what I do. But so is every other entrepreneur, you know. And if you're not passionate about what you're doing, go and work at McDonald's. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. If you don't get up in the morning and think, fantastic, you know, I've got my own business, I'm doing this, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to get this done by the end of the day, you know, you're in the wrong business. You shouldn't be running your own company. You shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing something else. So my business started as my hobby. My hobby has turned into my livelihood. Yeah. How cool is that? Yeah, you know, how great is it to be able to say, you know, I do something that still scratches my itch, that still ticks my boxes. That's the best job in the world.
That's a dream of everyone's, isn't it?
Of course.
It's got to be. And one last question. You talk in your interviews about how important it is to put things back. When you're into business and you're starting to see success, about putting things back into, whether that's a community or what it is. Can you just tell us a bit about that and your beliefs around that?
No, absolutely. I mean, I forget the fact that, you know, we're talking about business plans and you know, I've been very successful in music and I've worked hard at it. Huge amount of luck involved as well. You know, a lot of times when maybe I should have turned right, I've turned left. And maybe in hindsight you think, well, that was the wrong decision. No, because it led me to something that I didn't know was coming. It led me to a different area, a different step that I could take to move forward. You know, and I've got to think, okay, that's luck. That's not just working hard. That's not just having a great plan, because plans are just ideas on a piece of paper. Life changes those plans, and you have to be prepared to roll with how those changes happen. So in my industry, and I think anyone's industry, there's an element of luck in there. And you've got to be grateful for that. So when you find yourself in a position of success or power or whatever platform, you know, your success brings you, why wouldn't you turn around and help someone else? You know, in fact, I still do it. When I go and do shows up and down the UK, I don't take out a well-known opening act. I give the slot to an up-and-coming young artist, because maybe that's the only step that they're going to get, and maybe it's the step that they'll take that one night that someone in the audience sees them and makes the difference. So there's nothing difficult about giving back. You know, someone gave me the opportunity. Why wouldn't I pass that on?
A bit like paying it forward, making it work for other people as well.
Absolutely, it's not, you know, what we try and achieve as business people or entrepreneurs or musicians or whatever we want to call ourselves is paved with problems.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
You've got to sometimes go, I need a helping hand here. That's what's so good about what you guys are doing. Well, you've got each other. You know, you're leaning on each other. Yeah. You know, the collective has got to be stronger than the individual.
And that is such music to our ears. I think the whole idea of a business community and working together, every entrepreneur is individual, but there's such a power in the collective and helping each other solve problems that we've encountered. And that's what this is about. So, and those are the people you're going to be talking to this afternoon. So just to end off, if someone said to you, what is the best bit of advice you could give to someone who perhaps they've just started out, they've got an idea which they're passionate about, what would be the best advice that you could give to them in a nutshell?
Stay true to yourself. You've got to. I mean, in my business, we went through a phase maybe 20 years ago where every record, that every song that every artist made had to be remixed by a DJ. You know, and this is someone who probably doesn't know anything about music, doesn't know the front end from the back end of a guitar, you know. And I refused to do that. I refused to use this tool that was available that seemed to make your records successful. And I chose, that was a personal decision, I chose to do that. But I knew that by doing that, I was making it infinitely more difficult for myself. But it's my art, it's my choice, and I don't want someone else messing it up for me, because I've got to live with it for the rest of my life. Most people get to hear it and it's gone. You know, it's been, it's gone, they forget about it. I've got my children to go, what were you thinking when you did that? You know, so be absolutely true to yourself. You've got to be flexible, you know, you've got to be a little malleable at times, and you've got to listen to other people. But if you wake up one morning and you think, you know, I should never, ever have done it, don't do it again.
Outstanding. Midge Ure, I'd like to say thank you very much indeed for that. That was outstanding interview, and it's been a real pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.